Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today we will be crafting...
using Final Faction figures and vehicles. Little guy's going to be modifying the arrow here. Let's take these off just so it's...
Yeah.
He's going to be turning this into a hover vehicle. And I'm going to be taking Torn and turning him into...
Using torn pieces of cloth, baby wipes.
I don't know if you can see this, but this is an old Ral Partha miniature from a long time ago. It's also my absolute favorite character miniature ever. And
Should
even
it be
though...
like this?
One second. And even though it's a 25mm scale miniature, and I never use it, I actually have like 4 or 5 of these because I just collect them anytime I get a chance to grab one. I do. But I'm going to be turning him into him. Let's start with the little guy. Get him rolling on this.
Is this good?
Pull it back down so I can see it. It has
an angle.
No. We'll try to get it. We're going to be turning this armor plate into a wing, but hold on. Let me hold because there's. Okay, you see how it just like that. No. The other ones are more full. That one's more full.
I didn't see it.
So just goop a bunch of glue right along this edge, and then just lock it in there where it's nice and straight and level. And when you do the other side of this,
so like this.
I believe so. Is it butting up against this? See that bar right there?
Yeah.
You want it to kind of lock up against that.
It kind of physically can't.
Well, I said kind of.
Okay. Hold it. Actually, no.
I think you can do it. And you've got the accelerator there so that...
Accelerator is only useful when it's useful.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let me spray it because you're going to have to actually hold it in place.
I guess this is a time where accelerator could be useful.
Yeah, it definitely is. And don't worry if it feels like you're using too much because the accelerator will spray it into solidity.
No, this.
But it's not. It's going to take you. It won't dry in place. So let me spray it.
It just. I always prefer.
Is it in the right position?
You say that.
Yeah, you have to be careful because the bottle's almost empty.
You gonna get some more?
Yeah, I'm going to order it tonight, actually. Okay. Is it holding?
I think so.
Okay.
Look good?
Yep. And while he's working on the next piece, I'm using my old technique of dried baby wipes as the fabric. I'm actually going to turn this into a statue as opposed to like a character miniature or anything like that. And then I'm going to put it on a base just so it, looks like, like the Argonath statues from Lord of the Rings or something similar to that. I don't want it to, painted other than anything but, grays, blacks, and whites just to... And I'm going to be using... Where did I put the brush technique as opposed to dipping the baby wipes.
I put some more super glue on this. I don't think it's... I think it would be
it's dripping.
ruined if you use the accelerator.
Okay.
But it is dripping.
Okay, well.
That works. Or maybe it doesn't. Oh. Okay.
It's still dripping? Or
not necessarily that, it's the other connections.
It's not holding? Or it's wiggling?
Can you give me a napkin? Or any piece of paper?
Yeah, I got one right here. Where do you want it?
See that big blob?
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, quickly.
Spray?
Yes, and as close to the hole as possible. So it doesn't get outside of it. That's good enough.
Okay. Yeah, that's just about empty.
Yeah, this is what happens when you use accelerator.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to actually dip it. It's not...
Should these go on the front or the back?
It doesn't matter. You've got the other 2 packages that you'll have to open. and get them out. And I'll have to show you how to take apart
Like
the.
this? Oh, yep. It doesn't really matter. This is.
As long as you can feel where it's going to lock into place, like I showed you. And then I'll help you take apart.
Do you have an X-Acto knife?
For what? For what?
That?
I don't know what you mean, bud.
Just anyway. I already forgot what it's called. Thank you.
Mold lines or edges or something?
No.
Okay.
This. Talked about it last time. Good one?
I don't remember, to be honest.
This.
Oh, scoring. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I really honestly didn't know what you were talking about. I thought there was like some sort of.
I didn't for a second.
I thought there was some sort of thing stuck in the, like a little, not a mold line, but an excess piece of plastic somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably be using a Pringles lid to make the miniature base, and I'll probably dress that up a little with some sort of
Also this.
dungeon flooring. That turns. Don't worry about that. If it's a little loose, we can hit it up with more super glue later, when it can dry, because we are running out of the accelerator, and I want to use it just for where we have to use it, because this will probably be the last time we can use the accelerator.
Before you get new ones.
Yeah. And it'll only take a couple of days to get here.
And I've been trying to use the smallest amount of it as we possibly can.
Yeah, it's just.
Because while it's useful, it's also not good every time.
Yeah.
There are times where you would want to avoid it. And very specifically avoid it.
Yeah, just when you, until you get the
Can you
piece.
put a super glue at the very edge?
Where edge?
Tip.
Right here?
Yes. No, there. Yes.
Okay. More?
Yes. There.
I think that's too much. Massage.
As much of that as I can.
And for the sword, I'm going to use a popsicle stick like I did with the angel miniature last year. I just need to eat a popsicle first. These baby wipes really do the job of making something look fabricy, made out of cloth, better than just about anything else I've tried. Like I could try using milliput or green stuff, but it just never seems to come out the way I like it for some reason. This part's a little tricky.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing.
No, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, it's.
I looked over at what you were doing.
It's like trying to work with wet noodles. But when it dries, it will.
I've only used those once, and
I hated it.
I didn't necessarily hate it. I just didn't like it at all. Oh.
Well, I let that dry because I might not be able to do much more.
Can you give me the freaking, yeah, that accelerator. I almost called it super glue multiple times.
Yeah, that already looks awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even from upside down. Now, give them a. And can I twist it? Yep. All right. Cool.
Wouldn't it be like that?
Well, it depends on which direction it's flying and what.
Well, yeah, but like this, it just hits the wings.
Yeah.
So it would have to be going either like this.
Yeah.
Without pushing.
Okay. Now,
well, I guess
since I'm taking a break, I'll pop these open real quick, and. Where are my clues? Thought I broke it for a second there, folks. There's the next one. And it gives you a little piece of plastic I can use later for something. And then the next one.
This goes here.
Yeah, all the way toward the end. I think it latches on very nicely.
Right here?
I think so. I had to do it by braille, feeling it. And then once we have it all done, I will tape up the engine cowling, the hover jets, whatever, and spray it tomorrow.
Also, I think the rest of the chrome bits.
Well, yeah, the whole. I'll just tape over the whole flashlight piece so that no paint gets on it, and then we can paint all the individual parts, nicely, I hope. To the side. I am going to have to work on the hood a little to change it, just to make it a little bit more like the miniature in question. But is that really that angle? Yeah, it is. But as you guys can see, it's already starting to take shape. We already got the first one on. Good job. God, that looks really good already.
It's actually not as difficult as I thought it would be.
Because I think that
the second one is much easier because this right here
has a nice little reservoir, or is already scored.
It's already scored.
Okay.
I mean, not entirely, not the way I do it, but I do it a bit overkill. I think
that's okay. It's a new bottle.
That's true.
We have 2 other bottles here that are just about empty. But for this job, I knew we didn't have the luxury of sitting and waiting for it to drip down into the nozzle.
Oh, wow. I'm an intelligent man.
Yeah. The rear engines were a lot easier to get into place, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, except for...
God, that looks really good from here.
I'd say it's done.
Okay, well, let's turn on... let's give it another minute to dry while you do that. See if you can put the other guns in place, just so we can show this off to Nathan and Sage Forsaken, and we'd love to hear what you guys think of this, because
even these?
Yeah, sure, why not? I know these ones are ridiculous. They just don't make any sense, but put them right next to the character. Let's also show it. Yeah, exactly, in the landing gear position, ready for takeoff. There you have it, folks. A quick craft that was
not a lie. Today we don't lie to you, right?
That is correct. What? Did I lie? No, I didn't lie. But Nathan, Sage Forsaken, I'd love to hear what you guys think of this bad boy, because I've seen a lot of takes on the Arrow over the last couple of months, but I have not seen this. And seeing these these little flashlights that I stocked up on. I'm really glad I did.
Can you find them?
Yeah, I still have about 8
No,
left.
can you find them in the store?
Some dollar stores still have them, but if our dollar store has them, I'm gonna at least grab 4 more. But there you have it. This action figure vehicle, I think, just
We don't usually do things in this
medium.
realm. However, this
It's
was an
Final Faction,
exception.
and Final Faction is, one of the few action figure lines that we can get on board with because of all the extras and all the other goodies. But if the little guy was about 4 years younger, he would be downstairs playing with this as soon as the episode's over, right?
Probably.
Yeah, that looks really good. I think Nathan is going to want to do this at the very least. If he doesn't, I'll be highly disappointed. My feelings will be hurt. But there you have it, folks. That is our craft for the week. We'll be back Sunday with more painting of the Storm and Cloud Giant. Until then, have a great weekend. We love you guys. We will see you real soon. Good night, everybody.
Good night.